actually want to ask you about Mike Vrabel. You were there for basically the entire time.
Right.
As head coach, except for the last half of last season.
Yeah.
How would you explain what it was like playing for Mike Vrabel?
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely one of my all-time favorite coaches. Probably the smartest football mind that I've ever been around. I mean, one of the few coaches I ever been around that was involved in everything. Offense, defense, special teams. He can coach every position on the field. Even if he obviously never played quarterback, you know what I mean? But he learned enough about the position to be able to feel like he can coach everybody. And, you know, it was just his want-to win. Obviously, he had done it as a player at a high level for a very long time, so it's very easy to kind of buy into the things that, you know, he was coaching and teaching and preaching and stuff like that. But like I say, you know, he would get out there on the field and do drills with the defensive linemen, like put the pad on and stuff like that. So, you know, it was easy to respect him and what he was trying to accomplish there.
How about, like, in terms of, he seemed to have a reputation for really holding guys accountable, everything sort of being in order. Is that accurate? Like, is that how you explain it, how things were down there?
I mean, yeah, he definitely – he has some guidelines, even, you know, talking to the media and stuff like that. It's just the way that he wanted things to be run, and he definitely, like you said, he had his ways to make sure that, you know, things were being run the right way. And, you know, like I said, I really enjoyed being coached by him, one of my all-time favorite coaches. Like I said, just for the football mind part of it, but just, you know, did the relationship part too. He developed a relationship with all his players. And he always had like a golden rule, like he's going to treat you the way you treat the team. If you care about the team enough, you practice hard, you work hard, you show up on time and everything, then, you know, obviously you probably would have a great relationship with him. And, you know, if you didn't, it would probably be the total opposite, you know. You probably talk to a guy that maybe fit into that category that tell you they didn't like Vrabel at all, you know what I mean? But like I said, he just really wanted to win. And, I definitely think he ran things the right way.
Were you surprised when they moved on last year?
Surprised. Nothing in this league really surprises me. And I wasn't necessarily shocked on that. I just understood the situation. He kind of always talked about it's a production-based business, you know what I mean? Like, as great of a coach, great of a leader as he was, you know, obviously, the end of 2022, we had lost 7 straight games. We didn't start off 2023 right, and obviously that year finished pretty bad for them. Obviously, I was in Philly, but that's kind of how this business is, you know what I mean? And he wasn't immune, and he definitely used to tell us as a team, just like, you know, everybody gets, you know, held to the same standard, and I think that he would kind of speak on that. But I wouldn't say I would be surprised, but obviously, did I think it was the right decision? No, but, you know, at the end of the day, it's kind of how this business goes.
So if, you know, Ryan Poles or Kevin Byard came to you and asked you about Mike Vrabel potentially being the Bears head coach, what would you tell them?
I mean, I would give them my opinions about the guys, depending on the questions they ask me. It's obviously going to be their decision and stuff like that. But yeah, I would tell them that I really enjoyed my time being coached by him. I think he's an excellent coach. He's a great coach. Yeah, like I said, I don't want to be playing like GM or pitching to, you know, the team, but like I said, I think Vrabel is going to be a great coach. He's going to be a head coach this year. That if he's here or somewhere else, he's going to be a head coach, so he'll be a hot candidate for sure.
My last one for you is, you know, there's always this debate about an offensive head coach to pair with the quarterback. You obviously played for Vrabel for a long time. He wasn't necessarily that guy. I mean, do you have a strong opinion on that either way?
I don't know. I don't have a strong opinion on it. Every situation I think is very unique, depending on your locker room, your culture. I think in Tennessee, I've always had a veteran quarterback. Like I said, we traded for Ryan Tannehill in 2019. We had Marcus Mariota who was there. So having a veteran guy, I think it's a little bit different. Maybe this scenario, obviously, with Caleb, you know, going into his second year, I think it's very important for the organization to develop him. You know what I'm saying? I think he needs a coach that's going to help develop him. So, you know, but I'm also within the understanding that, let's say, for example, we hire an offensive-minded coach. I think that's all good and all great, obviously, with scheme and everything. But, you know, if you can't execute that scheme, is he going to look like a guru or a genius? Or, you know what I'm saying? I think it's a lot of different pieces when you look at building a team and how a team is built. That an offensive coach can shine. Same thing for a defense. There's a lot of brilliant, smart defensive coaches in this league. But if you don't go out and execute his scheme, you know, is he going to be a high candidate? I mean, I kind of look at the example of Aaron Glenn. I think his first couple years in Detroit, they weren't that great. But now, obviously, they're out here playing and balling, and obviously he's getting looked as a head coach. So I think things are very cyclical, and I think as players and as a team, we make the coaches' resumes. You know what I mean? Like, players are the ink that write these coaches' resumes. So us as players, we have to make sure that we're out there executing what these coaches are trying to get done, and eventually everybody gets promoted when you win. I mean, I think that's really what it comes down to. Everybody wants winners in their organization, from coaches to players as well. So we haven't done a good job of that this year. So obviously with that comes coaches get fired, head coaches get fired and stuff like that. I think, he's speaking on Matt. I think Matt is a brilliant defensive-minded coach. I think he's a brilliant coach, but it's a production-based lead, and when you don't win, usually that doesn't lead to good things.
Just one more quick one. With Vrabel, you said he was kind of coaching all over. Like, he could coach offense, defense, special teams. How involved was he with the quarterback?
I mean, I think he was – I wouldn't say he was very involved, but, I mean, in our team meetings, the way our team meetings kind of ran, we watched a whole lot of film. But if it was that days of practice, games and stuff like that, and like I said, he would literally coach every single position, from the O-line to the tight ends to the quarterbacks to the receivers, and how he wanted his receivers to be able to block before they caught the ball. And one thing that I really appreciated from him, that he held everybody to a very high standard, and it didn't really matter who you were, but if you was a rookie, first-year player, young player, or the starting quarterback Ryan Tannehill, he was going to coach you hard. And I think it kind of kept everybody not necessarily on edge, but understanding that, hey, I got to make sure I'm out here putting good stuff on film and I'm doing what I'm being coached to do, because I will get called out in front of the entire team, which is not a comfortable thing to do. But, you got to be able to, as a team, when you're in these type of situations, to be able to understand that, hey, I'm being held to the same standard as the next guy. And I have to make sure, even if I'm a backup, I'm preparing as a starter, because if I get into the game, regardless if I play that much this year and I don't go out there and uphold that standard, I'm going to get called out on it. So it kind of just a natural way of, people being able to, hold themselves to a high standard, and not just pretty much kind of just clocking in, clocking out type deal.
Kevin, man, I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
We all silly like the mayor.